and negative ions. So you have that stability like you, pardon?
What's generating the negative ions?
Minerals, always. All of our technology is mineral-based technology. Therefore, it does not also lose its potency. The principle is that these minerals have been what they are and had the properties that they have for millions of years. They've been what they are. And so you can actually very effectively process and incorporate those minerals in many, many different ways, and it still retains its properties. Now, the reason this belt gets even too hot when worn directly against the skin is because the water molecules in your skin actually excite the infrared waves to such a degree that it gets hot like that. Another way that you can incorporate this technology into devices for your health are with these compression supports. Now, often, people utilize compression supports that have no technology because there's an advantage to it. But this is what's called a platinum magnetic tourmaline fabric. And again, it's emitting negative ions, infrared, and creating a very mild magnetic field around the area. And I have them for the knees, for the calves, for the ankles, and the elbow arm area. Not too long ago, another example of my mother hearing about a kid needing surgery and suggesting, that they try one of our devices is her neighbor. Now, her neighbor's son is Dominic, and he has Asperger's. He's autistic. And when he was young, he's, I think, 14 now. When he was a very small boy, he was very heavily medicated. He was small for his age, overweight, and at one point, Jackie, my mother's neighbor, decided, I'm taking him off the medications and we're just going to focus on the alternative treatments and the therapies. And one of the things that happened, well, first of all, he shot up in height. He's taller than everyone else in the family. He started to become super athletic for the first time in his life, competing in Special Olympics and all kinds of, tournaments and competitions of that nature. But unfortunately, this sudden athleticism created a kind of a strain on his system, and he started to develop very severe, very painful varicose veins in his calves. And it was so painful, and it's such an issue, they decided there's no recourse but surgery. And they scheduled the surgery. It was about 2 months out, I think, from the time that my mother heard that he's going in. And of course she said, hold on, why don't you try this? Everyone was shocked when Dominic put the compression supports on his calves and felt so good with them, he decided he's never ever taking them off. This is significant because autistic children can be hypersensitive. It's a very common phenomenon that they don't like anything on them too constrictive. It's just too much. So he actually wore them day and night. He slept with them and he had them on all day, only taking them off to shower. And he went in for his pre-operation checkup, and the doctor actually couldn't find a single varicose vein on the child. It took about 6 weeks. It wasn't an overnight, instantaneous fix. It took about 6 weeks for his body to actually just heal the varicose veins on its own. And they canceled the surgery. There was nothing to operate on. Not long after that, he was participating in a Special Olympics competition, and he said he'd never won a gold medal before. He said to his mother, Mom, I think I'm going to win a gold medal this time. She said, okay, yeah. He says, if I win a gold medal, can I have my own plate of crab legs? That's apparently his favorite dish. She said, sure, if you win a gold medal, you can have your own plate. He actually won 3 gold medals at that event, and as he was standing on the podium with his 3 gold medals, he looks over to his mom and he says, 3 plates. Yeah. The same technology that is so effective and beneficial for us is also beneficial for animals. I have these type of collar-like necklaces that can be for dogs or for cats, where you really see an advantage in, for instance, dogs, is when they're already older, already showing signs of, lack of mobility, becoming arthritic. I have seen dogs, and I've had owners report to me that they have regained mobility that they had lost for years. This one lady had a quite large dog, and every time they needed to drive anywhere, she literally had to lift him into the car because he was too arthritic to even hop into the car by himself. Suddenly he's going in and out, he's hopping on the couch. I don't know if that's a good thing, but he's just doing things that he couldn't do for a long time. There was another dog owner that made a YouTube video for us showing how this dog that typically hates any kind of a collar and will fight any kind of collaring on him and really resist it. She showed how, as she took the collar, our collar, off of him, how he was actually trying to get it back on. He was starting to nose back into the collar again. There is a lady with horses that is a client of ours, and what she's done was she took several of this style necklace and kind of daisy chained them together to make one very long horse necklace. And she reported that she has been able to save thousands of dollars a year in chiropractic treatments for her horses. Yes. These silk scarves are actually a tourmaline fabric as well, and I could do a balance or a strength test with just this beautiful silk scarf, and it would also work. It definitely has juice, and I have them in many, many different colors and styles and patterns, and they're just lovely. It's 95% silk, 5% synthetic. That's the component that actually carries the tourmaline. I have massage socks. These socks have these silicone pads that also contain this mineral, tourmaline, and they emit negative ions and infrared. These pads actually get worn towards the foot. It's inside out at the moment so that you can see what's going on with it. And they stimulate the pads of the feet, accelerate circulation, help with pain relief in the feet, and are highly addictive. Once you get used to the feeling of these tourmaline massage socks, it's very hard to go back to just any old regular sock. What I found was that all my cute socks got pushed to the back of the drawer, and all I want are the socks that feel good.
What happens when your mom removes? What happens when
Wash by hand?
your mom removes?
Yeah, machine wash. I find that they last the best when you wash them with the pads inside. So don't let them be inside out so that you reduce the friction on them. But yeah, my manufacturer guarantees these for 500 washes, so long time. Tourmaline can even be incorporated in soaps and cleansers. This is a tourmaline facial cleanser. Because it emits negative ions, it actually has natural antibacterial properties and can even be used as a full body cleanser. And again, it's one of those things that when you get used to the quality, it's actually detoxifying. It's not just cleaning the body. It literally pulls toxins out of the body. And I always feel a bit of like this mood boost when I get all lathered up. Sometimes I do it a second time just because it feels so good. And again, every once in a while I don't have my tourmaline soap, and I use just a regular, even a good quality natural cleanser. Doesn't have that feeling of clean. You can feel your pores open up and breathe after cleansing with the tourmaline soap. Make sure that I'm not overstepping in time. Okay, another 10 minutes. We also have a beautiful facial and eye moisturizer that is for day or night, anytime. This is a sea buckthorn colloidal silver moisturizer that's so gentle, you can just lather it right in there, even really aggressively around the eyes, and it won't burn or sting the eyes. It feels incredible. Now, sea buckthorn is this kind of superfruit, incredibly high in antioxidants and vitamin C, vitamin E, omegas. It can be used, not this cream, but in general, sea buckthorn can be used internally as a supplement, or of course topically. And colloidal silver is an element incredibly effective in regenerating skin, especially after sun damage. Even severe burns can very quickly be healed with colloidal silver. And it just makes for a really beautiful combination. Another one of our devices is what we call the bottle rocket. Now, I don't know if you could see this. Normally, I have an extra one that I put, to show you. But this bottle contains a cylindrical tube that has a mineral component that also emits negative ions, alkalinizes the water, mineralizes the water with the minerals and the trace minerals that should be present in healthy water. So if you're drinking filtered water, that's great because it's clean, but it's also empty at that point once you've filtered it. And it will remineralize your water. And maybe most significantly, it hydrogenates the water. Water molecules, much like our white blood cells, also have a tendency to clump, to cluster. And what it does is it makes it harder for the body to actually absorb and access the water that you drink. A lot of the water that we drink just passes right through us. It's not bioavailable, not efficiently so. And when you hydrogenate water, it unclumps those water molecules into microclusters that easily penetrate the cell wall so that you're actually getting the hydration and the detoxification on the cellular level that you should be getting from your water. This is another nifty little device. This is a bionic power card. This actually emits massive amounts of negative ions, and it can be worn in a pocket. If you have the type of cell phone cover that it would comfortably fit in, it could be used in that way. You can actually use it to ionize any liquid. Your favorite face cream can have even more potent anti-aging properties if you ionize your cream. I put one under my milk. I have a tendency to never finish my carton of milk before it spoils. I always end up throwing away the last third of the milk. And I found that if I have a card under the carton, it doesn't spoil. You can put it in your box of leafy greens or herbs, that also have a tendency to wilt too quickly before we can finish, the whole container full, and it keeps them crispy and fresh. My dad used to like to put a card under the bottle of wine, and we would do wine tasting experiments, put some wine aside and then ionize some wine, and it actually gives it like this smoothness. You can take a rather inexpensive bottle of wine and it will taste expensive after a few hours of being ionized. So as a thank you to all of you that have participated in my talk, we want to give each and every one of you one of these bionic power cards. And so just stop by the booth after this and pick one of those up. Before I forget, I want to give you this one. And so there are many instantaneous advantages to this type of technology, and you could just be passive about it and just enjoy it, or you could take it farther. You could go deeper into a practice, deeper into study. You could use that advantage to whatever degree is appropriate for you, and that's the beauty of it. Yeah. Yes.
Wonderful job.
Your
Tell your mom.
socks that you have for your calves, do they come singular or they come in pairs?
There's a price for one, and if you want any two, it doesn't matter whether it's 2 knees or 2 calves, then you get a discount. So it's $18.95 if you just want one, and it's $29.95 if you save some $8 or something when you purchase 2.
So does that increase circulation?
It does. It increases circulation through the magnetics and the negative ions. Yes. Well, I just hope that I didn't forget to talk about everything. I think you know all about what we do and what we have. And don't forget to stop by the booth and get your gift. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thank you.